WPTV.
With the Upper East Coast getting hit with almost a foot of snow this week, it may not feel like spring is here, but in fact it is, and opening day is in just 6 days. All 30 teams will open up on the same day for the first time since 1968. This is also the earliest the season has ever started. For the Mets, Noah Syndergaard getting his opening day nod against the Cardinals. If you ask anybody in the clubhouse, even Syndergaard, they'll admit the start should be going to Jacob deGrom. A back injury in mid-February threw off his schedule just a bit, but no need to panic. deGrom expected to make his first start that same series. Here he is talking about what he has to do to stay on track.
Today was, the main goal is to get the pitch count up and be on 5 days going into the season, so everything felt good. So, next one I think is Monday. We'll be light and then get ready to pitch.
MLB.com named Syndergaard and deGrom the best 1-2 duo in baseball. deGrom set a career high in strikeouts and innings pitched in 2017. His 239 Ks were fifth in baseball, and although it was uncharacteristic for his ERA to sit in the mid-threes, his lifetime ERA still sits at a 2.98. Syndergaard was off to a hot start, but a lat tear ended his season after only 7 games. He's expected to be a full go here in his third full Major League season. Here's Sam Woods giving us more on MLB.com's full list.
MLB.com created a list naming the best 1-2 pitching duos in baseball. The list was made using the player's WAR and where that number ranks in the MLB. After adding the 2 rankings from both players, the lower the number, the better you are. deGrom and Syndergaard topped the list with a number of 9. The Nationals' aces weren't far behind, coming in the 2 spot. Kluber and Carrasco came in 3rd as they try to bring the Indians back to the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. Both the Cubs and the Red Sox tied for 4th as they too try to return to the postseason for consecutive years.
Well, it's never easy for the Mets. After being decimated with injuries last season and being forced to clean house in their medical department, their first major hit has already come before their first game. Jason Vargas has been diagnosed with a hamate fracture in his non-throwing hand. We're going to bring in Chris Douglas to give us more on this injury update. Chris, they brought in this guy to be a reliable lefty to solidify this pitching rotation. How long will Vargas be out, and where do the Mets go from here?
Vargas is going to be out about 6 to 8 weeks. The good news is that the injury is on his non-throwing hand, so he's going to resume throwing this weekend, and whenever he does come back, his arm will still be fresh. But now we're going to go ahead and see the 5 starters that everyone's been waiting for in New York. Syndergaard, deGrom, Harvey, Matz, and Wheeler, all in order for the first time, all healthy at the same time. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. We're just going to have to wait and see till opening day. Yeah,
you actually jumped ship. My next question, we have still yet to see the Fab 5 of Syndergaard, deGrom, Harvey, Matz, and Wheeler, like you said, all pitching at the same time. Is it a possibility that that time finally comes now that Vargas is down?
Yes, it's definitely possible. I think the Mets are leaning towards doing that, although Seth Lugo and Robert Gsellman, not pictured in the graphic here, are also having a great spring. Harvey, deGrom, Syndergaard, Matz, and Wheeler are the 5 that Mets fans have been waiting to see for a very long time. You see the lifetime numbers there. All the ERAs are where they need to be. And these 5 guys are the guys that the Mets want in the rotation for the long term. So it's about time that they get to see them pitch in order for the first time, Joe.
A season that looks like it can go in either direction for the Mets. Okay, thank you, Chris. A completely different vibe in the Bronx. The Pinstripes have high expectations after falling just 1 game short of the World Series last season. Giancarlo Stanton already made his presence with his first bomb of the spring. A Yankee fan's dream scenario, a 400-foot shot off the bat of the former MVP with none other than Matt Harvey on the mound. You couldn't write it any better. We'll bring in Stephen Bologna, our Yankees insider. Assuming everybody stays healthy, we'll set the over-under at 100 home runs between Judge and Stanton. Stephen, are you taking the over or the under?
Well, surprisingly, I'm going to have to go with the under. I think opposing teams are going to be scared of this lineup. Giancarlo Stanton, the former MVP, and Aaron Judge, Rookie of the Year, will be dropping bombs off these opposing pitchers. So they're going to be throwing them low and away, which is Aaron Judge's weakness. They won't pitch him strikes. They're going to try and maneuver around them, maneuver around the strike zone. Also, I think Aaron Judge is going to try and become that more consistent hitter. He's not going to focus on home runs. He's going to focus on bringing his average up because it dropped really badly after the All-Star break last year. So he's going to want to become that 5-tool player, hit for consistency, hit for power, which we already know he has, and hit into the gaps.
Yeah, there's no question that the lineup is one of, if not the strongest lineup in baseball. all the question marks lay around the starting pitching. Rumor has it that they're still in the market for one. Is it more likely that that will happen through trade or free agency if it happens at all?
Well, I do, in fact, think they will acquire the starting pitcher that they've been looking for. It won't happen now that Jake Arrieta is off the board in free agency going to Philadelphia. As we see the starting rotation, we have Luis Severino, who was a stud last year, Masahiro Tanaka, CC Sabathia, Sonny Gray, and Jordan Montgomery. I think they will acquire a pitcher at the deadline to replace CC Sabathia after his one-year deal is up this year. Some names I could see, Michael Fulmer from the Detroit Tigers is a good young pitcher. Also, Danny Salazar, I've heard linked with the Yankees. He's a little injury prone, but when he gets his time, he's good. And a dark horse candidate for the Yankees is Chris Archer of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays have been quietly shopping Archer, and the Yankees are one of the teams interested. So I think this pitcher will replace CC Sabathia and will greatly improve and possibly solidify the starting five.
All right, thanks for joining us, Stephen. Mets and Yankees set to kick off their respected games on Thursday of next week. We're in for a very exciting season. Don't go anywhere. It's the month of March, and it is madness. The basketball crew talks all the bracket busters and upsets from this year's tournament. We'll be right back.